Hello, everyone. Actually, let me make the Discord ping before I forget. Damn. Thanks for being here, guys, even without the Discord ping. Honestly, I always forget about the Discord ping until the last minute. Hi, everybody. Oh, man, actually, thank goodness my headache is gone. Dude, I woke up with, like, the weirdest... I think it's like, pressure from, like, the air or something. But some days when it's like really like nice outside and then it gets really rainy and cold, I always get headaches. Ever since I was little. Luckily, it's not too bad today. Some days. Yeah, some days. Is it an unk thing? Or my unk? Good evening, Nana. Hi, Cheese. Hi, Dot. Hi, Iman. How you doing? Yo, Alex. What's up, Toxic? Man, I was trying not to fall down some rabbit holes of other hobbies today, too. Today was a bit of a lighter day for me. Like normally Thursdays I have off. It's usually Thursdays and Fridays. So like I did like a, like a half day of things today. Oh my God, I was falling down some rabbit holes. How are we doing? I would say I am personally doing, actually, is this set right? Yeah. I am doing pretty good. It's just a weird body thing. Dude, I'm telling you, right? It's not just me, I think, right? New update. Bro, speaking of... Oh, my hair is like all sticking up. Speaking of a new update, I booted up my Windows computer yesterday, right? Ooh, my hair is like fried today. Oh, well. I booted up my Windows computer last night, right? And I was going to play some video games. And, dude, I literally booted up and it's like, please wait while we're installing updates. And I'm like, there's no way I didn't approve an update. Like, why is there an update right now? And... I kid you not, 20 minutes of updating to the point where like I just literally was like sick of it and I almost got off and I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm playing games tonight. 20 minutes. No more headache. I mean, it's kind of there. Honestly, it was like not a bad day for having a headache. It was just one of those days where like, probably ideal since
keep up the great content.
I didn't have much to do today, like, because it was technically, like, my day off. But also, like, if I wanted to do some extra stuff, which I kind of wanted to do, I just couldn't, man. Thank you, Cyan. I appreciate it. Thank you, dude. But yeah, I just couldn't. So, just one of those days. Where's the music? It's playing. Do you guys hear it? Or is it too low? Should I turn it up a little bit? Music's playing. Yeah. Let me know if it's like too low or anything like that. I can always turn it up or down. It's a good volume. Perfect. But yeah, I started playing Diablo 2 with a friend. I only very briefly played Diablo 2 when I was younger. But yeah, interesting experience so far. You got your sweater in? Hell yeah, Drew. Hell yeah. That's an OG gaming. It's pretty fun. Honestly, I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, actually, dude, today was also, on top of, again, just like it being a bit of a lighter day, I did a lot of research on keyboard stuff. So there's a lot of stuff, like I put in my cart that I want to buy. Some new HMX switches as well. I won't spoil anything yet. Like I'm going to show them off when they get here. Today was a very productive day in terms of like learning some new stuff. Maybe that I haven't explored quite yet. So that was good too. Yeah, Path of Exile is one of those games where it's like, I love it, but I also hate getting into it.
Fry just called you baby girl, Alex. How do you respond to that?
Fry, let me wait the shirt first. Let me wait your #1 fan shirt. Where's the product? Oh my God, it's here, ain't it? And I think it's different when you're calling a product a keyboard rather than food being a product. I think it's different just to set the record straight, Adam, Jesus. Same thing, right? Same thing. And it. Okay, CEO. Listen, man. Listen. Same thing? At this point. No, okay. Can we jump? I kind of low-key excited for this. So, first of all, GravaStar sent this over to me. This is going to be a sponsored review for that reason. All my thoughts are my own. I can already tell you I've done a lot of research on this board. There's going to be some things I'm probably going to criticize. They had no hand in changing what I say. They had no chance to review this. This is a live unboxing. I never unboxed this before, so we're all good in that sense. I have always kind of coasted around, like truthfully, coasted around GravaStar's keyboards because the aesthetic just wasn't really my thing. I think that's fair, right? Like the aesthetic GravaStar makes like very alien inspired, you know, very like out there designs. This is probably one of the few designs from them where I can say, okay, it's interesting enough without looking too crazy. Plus, I was really interested in the particular switches that are in this board because I haven't looked at these UFO switches yet. So it's one of the first GravaStar products that I can say I'm interested in. I will admit though, I don't mind their I really don't mind their mice. You know, they don't look that bad, but I probably won't ever get one for myself. How do you guys store your GMK keycaps? I use those like transparent boxes. They're in my exclamation point kit. But we are going to be looking at a GravaStar keyboard today. I'm building my first custom keyboard soon, the E65. Very nice. Just waiting on keycaps and switches. Always loved watching you. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I use those. Do you know those plastic boxes you guys see me use? They're stackable and everything. OG boxes until they disintegrate into dust. Dude, speaking of which, oh my God. Speaking of which, I have to pick up some more plastic boxes. I have a few of my GMK boxes, a little bit older ones. They're like brittle to the point where I was taking out some keycaps. Well, I guess putting back some keycaps, and they just like cracked in half. So I don't know. Is the new stuff degrading faster? I really haven't taken a look yet. So I don't know. I just like, you know what? I don't even mind like not having keycaps in order. If I can stack them and they're a little bit more like, you know, concise, then I think it's better than some of the paper trays that literally fall down, basically. They're so bad. Mine have been degrading. So I think I have 20 GMK boxes at the very least. And I would say like 5 of them are fully like kaput. Do you read YouTube chat? I do. Okay, though. The KWD fans trays? They are pricey. I don't know if I want more trays like that, though. You know what I mean? Do you like them, though? I know a lot of people love those trays. All right, V60 Pro. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of a more done-up Holy 60. That's what this really reminds me of. Now, GravaStar sells this for about $200. I do like the aesthetic. I think it's cool. I think it's going to look better in person. It's a neat looking board. I don't love the keycaps right off the rip here though. But for $200, you're getting 2 keycap sets apparently, which is awesome. A full aluminum body, which again we might have some stuff to talk about there. And then you're getting these UFO switches, which GravaStar, I don't know why the pricing is the way it is. These UFO switches are insanely expensive. Now, on YouTube, I've got recommended these UFO switches what feels like hundreds of times. So it's interesting to get to see these today in person. And this is a keyboard we can actually disassemble today, which you guys will see. So this is, if you guys want to know the real reason why like I'm excited, it's because usually with a lot of these like gaming boards, I can't disassemble them. Honestly, I've been taking less and less of those builds. This one here was a little bit more exciting because we can actually take it apart. So, should be nice. But let's open the box. Manta's looking hot. Thank you. I'm slowly working on getting my next batch of switches to build another Manta. So, we have a nice little box from GravaStar. This feels like a very premium product. You know what's weird? Again, I'm a little bit more... Oh, okay, let's just move you over here. I'm a little bit newer to some of GravaStar's products, right? I will say this is very premium. It's not something I truly would expect out of GravaStar, I guess. Oh, this is a nice experience. Well, look at that. This is actually not that bad. So this is the keyboard. It comes in a nice little... Ooh, not bad, actually. Little carrying card here. Or not carrying card, but little package here of, I guess, documentation, maybe. Welcome to GravaStar. All right. And then there's a second layer from what I understand underneath here too. And there's the other set of keycaps if my camera wants to behave. So you get a secondary set of keycaps. And then accessories. I mean, let's see. Let's see here. It's kind of heavy. I wonder though, I think this is kind of like one of my things with boards like this, is I get the extras, but I wonder though, how much would this actually be if they didn't stick all these extras in here? You know what I mean? I wonder. The legendary shirt? What do you mean? I loved your shirt, man. Please. So we get in here. I think the target audience wants those extras. I don't know. I've asked this a few times, and I'm wondering, for those who kind of want gaming keyboards, this is retail packaging, yeah. Would you want to pay $10 extra and not get like an extra, or $10 less rather, and get like, you know, a little bit less accessories in the box, or do you look forward to accessories? I've always been a bit curious. I feel like our answers always vary from time to time. Oh, this is open. Oh, these are these UFO switches. So you get a switch puller, a keycap puller, and these are these switches. Jeez, the mold on these switches are crazy. Damn. The mold's cool for these. Oh, wrong button. Hold on. Sorry, my hands are really dry, guys. There's nothing I can do about it. They're a working man's hand. What am I supposed to say? So they have a diffuser. Now, I've heard some people say that these provide a different sound profile, which makes sense. Different shape of a switch. They do have 2 pins here on the bottom. These are a Hall effect. Oh, interesting. Ooh. Ooh. They are clearly lubed. Wow, this is like there's not much material here, as you guys can see. Little GravaStar logo on the bottom. These are insanely expensive though, and I'm going to give criticism there because I mean, I get they own the molds, or these are proprietary molds for these, but these are crazy expensive. Last I checked, and I've checked a few times, these were like what, $20 for a set of 10 or something like that. They're pretty expensive. And they're not something I'd probably like. Do I have them open? I do have them open here. They are $19.95 for a set of 10. So if you were to get these outside the keyboard today, you would spend almost as much as getting, like if you need 70 of these, you are spending $140. You might as well just buy the keyboard. And I think that's kind of where like some of my criticism really falls into the pricing of some of these HE switches, man. And like, you know, I'm sure GravaStar is not gonna like love this conversation, but dude, I don't really get some of the conversation, or not conversation rather. I don't really get some of the pricing with some of these HE switches at the moment. Like they're really predatory in terms of like just really selling people on like the latest and greatest. And I want to say something because someone mentioned something that kind of irked me, to say the very least, last time I went to go look at HE stuff, which was out-of-date switches. And I don't agree with that sentiment. I don't agree with out-of-date. Like, what does that even mean? Are the magnets like a better magnet to the point where there are performance differences? So, I think when we're in the HE world talking about out-of-date, you know, like, these are not the latest iterations, like, what does that mean exactly? And I've yet to find like someone telling me something concrete with that. Like it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And I think people are being kind of, in a way, sold on just different molds. Like literally. And I will tell you this, there's not a lot of stuff you can do to this, even with the HE version, that can really make this out of date or newer. I just think they're different. And I think that's the word that we should be using, so it doesn't seem as like you gotta have the latest and greatest thing and pay arm and a leg for it. So while I do think these are neat, and I love the the look of the Switch, it's cool. I like when people do different things. For $2 a Switch, this is crazy. $2 is a lot. Outside of that, though, let's look at the actual keyboard. I will say though, these feel great. Now, I have heard some people tell me that the housings on these inside plates are very, very solid. So we'll see. How does this open? Actually, this is kind of nice looking. I bet with a more regular set of keycaps, this would be pretty sharp. They do have like a metallic kind of plastic keycap set going on here, which, you know what, I don't even mind. I also do think they should have called this the V60 Pro and not the V60. Mecha Kaiju would be sick on this, actually. We could swap it out later. Now, I've said this before, because we did the Zoom 64. I think 64 layouts are cool. I think when you're gaming, this is a fun layout to have when you're playing video games. Actually, I actually really like the way this looks. I would have thought this is the coolest thing when I was 16. I still don't mind the look of it. Like, clearly it's not something as classic or timeless. Like, let's be real here, but I think it's pretty fun. Now, this is aluminum, apparently, which it does feel like aluminum. It is very lightweight. Ooh, this is neat. If they would have done a more simplistic top, which is not GravaStar, and I don't expect them to do that, by the way, a more simplistic top, and then kept the bottom like this would have been really cool. So they have a bunch of, this is more mainstream branding stuff at the bottom. Can't really avoid that, by the way. They do have a left-aligned USB, which is interesting. I don't mind that personally. And this is actually a feature of the board where I thought was really cool, which is a profile switcher. So you can switch between, like, if you set, like, I don't know, a profile for, like, Val, and then a profile for, like, I don't know, what other games are popular right now? Fortnite or something? Arc Raiders, Marathon. So you can swap that. And then apparently this little LED section over here changes color depending on which layout you're on, which is pretty neat. Fortnite mentioned. But then we have lots of diffusers around here, which are all LEDs. Okay. And then we have the coveted, which seems so rare on these types of boards, exposed screws. I really don't know why we don't get more like keyboards with just exposed screws on the bottom. What games do kids playing nowadays? I don't know, man. Honestly, my game choices have been like a lot more ARPG or like casual these days, with the exception of Arc Raiders. Yeah, this is kind of rare. Side profile is kind of fun on this board. Like I said, this is a more out there version of what I feel like the Holy 60 is. Did you get the special package version? I'm pretty sure this is considered the special package version. I'm pretty sure. This is the silver, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I think this is silver. Although this could be gunmetal. I'm not too sure. It feels like a silver, or it looks like a silver to me anyways. It doesn't actually say, I was trying to find that all on the board, and it doesn't say anywhere on the packaging what color this is supposed to be. It could be gunmetal, though. I have no clue. Interesting. Very interesting. We're going to take this apart and tear this down, by the way, so if anyone's curious. Now, what else do we get in here? This is silver? Okay. Wobble matters a lot. If you have a high-end board like the Rocket Atlas, it's important to keep wobble to a minimum. For example, Gateron Jade's wobble quite a bit. Yeah, so wobble equals outdated? I guess. I get what you're saying there, Lander. Like, for wobbling, like, because if you guys need to maybe catch up with some of the HE stuff, the only thing that would really matter in a Hall effect switch is how stable the actuation of the magnet from top to bottom is. Because the sensor needs to read the positioning of the magnet, basically. Or, not the position of the magnet, but, magnetic forces have to be consistent enough. That would be the more important thing. But in terms of, like, what it means in the grand scheme of things for, like, the everyday gamer, not a lot. some stickers, a manual. Always appreciate a written manual, man. I really do. And then we have a cleaning cloth. Is this like the Apple cleaning cloth? It doesn't feel as luxurious as it. Okay, cool. Packaging was really nice. Yeah, I can't complain. Your packaging is quite nice on this. And then there was also an accessories box ×2. What else do you get here? Whoa. I don't know how I feel about a right-angled cable. That's an interesting choice. Although handy to have. You probably won't be able to use this cable for very much, by the way. So just as an FYI, this does feel like pretty for their product and their product only. But I guess in terms of like everything else, like, you know, it's not bad to have if you already have a cable, I suppose. I probably wouldn't use it myself. Oh, is this one of those keyboard cleaners? Let's see. This is... Big fan of this, actually. Oh, there's 2 brushes. Love stuff like this. Honestly, I like little dusters and packages like this. This is nice to keep stuff clean. I'll give them props for that. This is... Lost something there. This is quite nice. Very nice. 2 years ago, I thought outdated for switches meant wobble and scratch since everyone wanted CJ level of smoothness. Well, that's the thing, too. Like, I think... Here's my take, though, and maybe this is a bad take. I think outdated and having switches wobble kind of isn't the same thing. I think wobbly switches is just a design defect. I guess you can technically say, like, it is the outdated design if they reiterate on it. But, like, I don't think people are actively looking for wobble. So I would call those switches, you know, like, not good usually if they had tons of wobble. But I don't know. Things differ from person to person. All right, let's put these back here and let's take a look at the board. Actually, let's look at those other keycaps this thing came with too. I appreciate all the extra accessories that come with this. My Gateron black brown stubs wobbles so much. Yeah, like I have some old switches, some oldies that wobble a little bit, and honestly, it's fine. I like all these accessories more than the keyboard. I guess a little bit, yeah. So it comes with a secondary set of... Oh, is this like a polycarbonate set? Or I guess, I don't know if this is polycarbonate, but... See-through set? It is. Actually, I do appreciate that these have a bit more of a frosted look on the top. Now, I'm going to say this. I've been playing with the game, so I'm testing currently another HE board that has translucent or semi-translucent keycaps. They're really fun to game on. They're not so fun for everything else. I just can't see any legends. So there's at times where, you know, I look down the keyboard just to make sure I'm on the right keys or whatever. And that's a personal problem. But yeah, it's not my favorite experience, like doing like everyday things with them. But this could be fun. I mean, like, it's kind of neat that you can swap these back and forth. I don't understand the need to put the word clutch on the spacebar. Like, what does that make any sense? I have no clue. I feel like that could have just been left blank. I kind of dig the design of their stuff, but this is out there. I feel like this is the least out there of all their stuff. Do you have a pencil eraser? I don't think I do. Would I get rid of it? Clutch is a confidence booster. We'll play around with these afterwards. Maybe we'll swap some. I fuck with this. I mean, that's good. We'll see if it's a good product, though. Actually, one thing I wanted to test. So, this is a ridiculous thing, but I did hear some reports. I did a lot of research on this, by the way, before I even took this project. I did hear a lot of reports of the keyboard. Okay, mine seems fine. Some people, and I'm talking a very limited amount of people, were reporting wobble. And what I think probably happened, which I'll show you guys when we get there. I think there might have been some like warpage on the back plate, or just it wasn't sitting properly. But from what I understand, it's not supposed to be a widespread issue. It was like very like small. Interesting looking case though. I do like this brushed aluminum everywhere. Cool. All right, let's do a sound test first. Bless you. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. All right, well, let's see what this keyboard sounds like, and then we'll see the RGB as well, yeah? This is aluminum. Aluminum, I guess, but the diffusers are all going to be plastic. So this is completely stock. I haven't done anything to this. I love the alphas. The spacebar is falling a little short, but hear me out. It could be the keycaps. We will try a set of GMK after this. The Kafka at the moment has switches you won't be able to tell what the sound is like because they're silent basically. Bro hates PBT? I'm pretty sure all of this is alu. I'm like 99% positive it all looks like aluminum anyways. But I'll double check if the top frame is alu or not. It looks like alu. Mikey, do you know? I know you looked at this board too. I'm pretty positive this is all aluminum. I love this stocky sound signature. When I first dipped my toes into the hobby, but I'm a snob like the rest of you now. I don't mind the deeper sound signature. I really don't. Now we get to take it apart. This looks cool, I gotta say. I like a few keyboards in my collection foamed up to the brim. I don't mind it personally. That's why I've also never redone my thermal. I got it to the perfect thockiness, and now I've just never redone it because it's perfect for me. Put some stuff to the side here. What parts are metal? I believe the top end, I think the whole frame is technically metal. It all looks like it, but we'll take it apart here and I'll dissect it some more. Oh, we'll do the RGB testing after this too. These are hex screws, which is, you know what? I'll give GravaStar another point here. Thank you for not using Phillips head screws. So, nice touch. I don't think they were magnetic, but let me just triple check. Oh no, they are. They're magnetic screws. Again, nice touch. For their MX board, the exoskeleton frame thing is aluminum, but the actual case is plastic. Let me see. Let me open this up and find out. So, this is aluminum for sure. This is a very, very thin bottom case, FYI, guys. Extremely thin. It kind of makes sense why this is so thin. Considering, like, listen, $200 for all the stuff you're getting here is not, like, too crazy of a price, considering this is, like, partly aluminum. But they do have this large silicone insert on the bottom, which, you know what, again, I'm not opposed to. I know a lot of people probably with HE switches, and just with the nature of how HE switches sound, it kind of makes sense to have this large piece of silicone. You know, it has to be branded, of course, GravaStar. Then we have the assembly. Now, here's where it's interesting, and here's where I can offer some, like, expertise from my zone of things. This is a top mount. Oddly enough, it is top mounted. Now, they are doing Phillips head screws on the inside, which is, you know, from a longevity standpoint, if you're one to take this apart, which you probably aren't if you're picking this up, you probably don't want Phillips head screws. Phillips head screws tend to strip really quickly if you are, you know, not really careful with them. So I'm not a big fan of having Phillips head everywhere. And then the other thing that I'm not, like, I wish GravaStar, I'm not going to say did some more research, but, like, I do wish GravaStar realized that with top mounts, putting a mounting point underneath the spacebar isn't exactly the best. So keep that in mind as well to GravaStar there if they're looking past that too. It's a top mount. My issue is, and if you guys are wondering, like, why don't you like having a mounting point underneath the spacebar, for anyone who maybe is watching this and doesn't really understand why, you can have, it's not like the keyboard's not going to work, right? However, I personally find them fatiguing. They're a little bit fatiguing when you type on. And also, that's probably causing this to be a little bit more flattened sound signature too. So I'm sure if they had just moved those two over, I'm sure that would be fine. Alex, be honest, say you hate it. Thing is, wait, I don't hate it though. Like, I know it's really easy for me to dismiss products and stuff like that. I like stuff like this. Like, there's a market for everyone. There's going to be an aesthetic for everyone, you know? Like, not everyone is going to be super, super into, like, the super basic shit that I'm into. Like, let's be real here. Like, not everyone likes the designs I like. Not everyone's going to be really into, like, the really simplistic stuff. So I do feel like there's a market for every kind of style. I mean, dude, for example, the Holy 60 isn't really my vibe. Do you know how many requests I get to build Holy 60s? A lot of people like it. A lot of people think it's really dope. So you can't be dismissive of like a style. I think the only thing, and we've talked about this in the past as well, the only thing I can really kind of criticize is if GravaStar goes with a theme and then they go against that theme in certain aspects, then I can say, well, okay, I can criticize that. Like, they didn't go with the theme. Cough, cough, maybe the Nama, right? The Nama was a bit off theme in a lot of sense. So everyone has different tastes and preferences. $2 Switch is wild as well. I mean, I mentioned that as well. I mean, I'm not really big into $2 a Switch either, but everyone has different preferences. I'm not going to shit on anyone's, what's the yuck anyone's yum, you know? I see why the design is doing really well, though. It looks like something a typical gamer would love. Dude, honestly, like I said, I really do feel like this feels like it took some of the good parts of the Holy 60 and then kind of made it its own thing. And I like some of the features on this. For example, this is nice. Having a profile switcher is nice too. But let's take this apart even further. Holy 60 looks dope, but I've tried a few configs and it doesn't hit the way I want to. Yeah, that's my problem with the Holy 60 is I couldn't ever get the Holy 60 to sound exactly the way I want it. Okay, let's open this up now. A pro gamer does not give two shits about the look as long as the keyboard performs. Agreed. Actually, there's like I said, I've pretty thoroughly done my homework on this board, and if you guys are wondering like how I know exactly like my criticisms off the bat, it's because this is one of the few times where I, to be completely transparent with you guys, I had to make sure this was something that I would want to cover before I even said, yeah, send it over to me. And in doing so, I did a lot of research on the board. So I already kind of developed some pre-criticisms before I even opened it up, which is why like I knew this was going to be a mounting point underneath the spacebar type thing. So very rare case. Usually I like just opening things up and vibing with it and see how I feel past that because I feel like it's more authentic. But I don't know. I feel like this is a bit of a newer dive into things as well. I actually like you did your research. Thank you. Because I'm learning stuff too. Hey, I'm glad you're also learning stuff. Actually, these are magnetic too. Hell yeah, GravaStar. Even though they're Phillips, I forgive you. So let's see how they did the internal, I guess, top area over here. Okay, so we got to be a little careful because the USB-C sits... Oh, and there's a piece of tape here too. Interesting. What is this tape for? Is this grounding? I'm pretty sure this is grounding over here so it doesn't short. which is, I mean, you know who does that on some of their older boards was Canon keys, and I hate when they do stuff like that. Let me just peel this off, though. So this is pretty, like, anti-mod when you do stuff like this. Just got here. What's your opinion on GravaStar in general? I have only ever seen their products, and I've had some people tell me they like their stuff, but their aesthetic is just different. And I think the reason probably why I've never even looked into some of the GravaStar stuff is because the aesthetic was never for me, if that makes sense. Let's do this instead. Okay. So when I reassemble this, I got to make sure not to forget to put this tape back against the side wall of the case. I'm pretty sure this is grounding. So that's what I'm talking about over here. So again, this is going to be so it doesn't short. And basically fry the PCB type thing. Alright, so we got our typical layer of tons of foam here. And now the foam is that glued on? It is lightly glued on foam. Ah, man. Okay, so some more criticism from me here. Glued, I didn't know this was glued on, actually. This I didn't know from other reviewers. I don't really love glued on foam. And before he rips off a diode? No, the diodes are fine. Glued on foam typically is, again, just very anti-modding the keyboard. Like, why not just leave it not glued on or use a lightly tacky material? I'm not sure. So we're going to look at it from that standpoint. Now, this does use an aluminum plate, it looks like. Yep, seems like an aluminum plate.
Good evening.
Thank you, Keep Science. Appreciate the 23 months. The aluminum plate looks to be like a standard thickness. The PCB also looks to be a standard 1.6mm PCB. There are a ton of LEDs around this keyboard. Interesting. Very, very interesting. None on the top, though. Tons of LEDs. And then, if we look at the top frame of the case, so this little diffuser thing was meant to go there, but I'll put that back afterwards. Ah, interesting. I see what they've done here to kind of lightly mount the top mount over here. They've added what looks like a silicone buffer piece for the top mount to make this a bit more isolated. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Mode copycats? Oh my gosh. I wonder if the board gets hot with all the LEDs. I wonder too, actually. It's a 64 key layout, which I really like 64 key layouts, honestly. So I'm not against this layout personally. And then we have some slots in where these blockers go into, and this is indeed cast it, I believe. I don't think this is CNC'd. Did they say, actually, it's that I'm curious about. I remember reading something about this being CNC'd or something like that. I wonder if they advertised this to be CNC'd. I'd have to double check. Okay, maybe no, maybe not. Maybe they didn't advertise it. I just want to make sure, compared to the advertisements. Maybe they did. Maybe I'm misremembering. But this is definitely not CNC'd. If this was CNC'd, guys, this would be like a $500 keyboard. I don't even know if this is even 100% possible with CNCing over here. Like this piece right over here, I have no clue if this is possible. But if this was, this would be hella expensive. This would be like a $1,000 keyboard easily if this was CNC'd out of a piece of metal. You can see all the molds? Yeah, you can see right over here. This is like the telltale sign for me. See right over here? All the little marks from the mold. So this is, it's still aluminum, but it's just molded, or whatever metal this is. All right, though. I mean, we could take this apart, but it's just foam, and I don't plan on taking out the foam. But from what I understand, there is a layer of, there's probably, 4 pieces of foam in between? A lot of it being like foam sheets. And then we have our keycaps and switches here, too. And now, I guess that's something too. I don't know how much this would actually wobble. This was something I also was reading about in a Reddit thread about how there's still a lot of housing wobble with this plate. As you guys can see, there still is. Right? Now, compared to, I mean, let's just grab this board here. This is just a standard MX board. Bro became a Redditor. Hey, you know what? And it's bullying me, guys, for doing homework on something. Compared to like an MX switch, like the only thing wobbling is the actual assembly, but like this ain't going anywhere. Right? This ain't going anywhere. I think probably what's happening here, and actually let me take a look at those switches again. Was it in this one? No, it's this one here. Well, this we do have to worry a little bit. Ants. For HE stuff, we do have to be concerned a little bit with wobble. Ever so slightly. I'm wondering if because this kind of strays away from like the standard squared off design, it's not getting as much proper contact. You know what I mean? And like the switches might sound really good here, but if you're going for that like, you know, completely stable, not wobbling switch at all, I don't know if this mold would provide such a thing. Which is interesting because I'm not calling anyone in particular out because honestly I don't remember who said this, but I did see a lot of people in reviews about the UFO switches and from people recommending it to me. If you guys remember at the beginning of the stream too, people were literally DMing me about this switch, being like, you gotta check this shit out. Part of what they said was it was very stable. So I wonder if that's also causing a bit of the wobble here. Now, how much does that matter for you if you were interested in this thing in the long run? It's hard to say. I would say realistically, you're probably not going to notice much of this at all. Like, be 100% honest. But a really good thing to measure, like, I got a really good quote from someone once, and I linger onto this quote because it resonated with me, which was, if you want to be like a pro gamer or just you want to be the best that you can be in the scene, you want to make sure your gear is as stable as possible so you can only blame yourself at the end of the day. So it makes sense that, you know, if you even leave room for doubt when it comes to wobbling of your switches, when it comes to maybe Hall effect stuff, you know, that would matter. Stem wobble is way more important high key. Stem wobble is equally as important. Here's the reason why.
ERP
Potato,
have you tried your AirPod Pros in sport mode yet?
How do you do that? I haven't tried. Abraham Lincoln said that quote? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Or the guy from KFC. Colonel Sanders, whatever his name is. So, here's the thing about housing wobble and stem wobble. Stem wobble, a lot of the times, from what I've seen, gets confused with housing wobble. I find it actually very rare to find a switch these days that has any semblance of stem wobble. It's usually housing wobble. Usually. That's why we film our switches. It's because usually it comes from the housing first. It's very rare. Very rare that I've found a switch that has like an excessive amount of stem wobble that's been even a switch worth mentioning, you know? So that's why we film a lot of stuff. Like I guarantee you if I probably were to open these things up, they probably wouldn't have all that much stem wobble. It's probably coming from the housing. I actually don't like switches that have too little stem wobble. They almost feel too stiff. I think there is, and you bring up a really good point too, Fried, at least for MX stuff. I don't know how much that would matter in the HE world, but at least for me, like I do agree when there are switches, and we've even seen this with stabilizers. When you overdo it with tolerances, it can backfire on you. So there is a sweet spot you have to find. There is a sweet spot. But all right, let's, I guess not really much we can do to customize this. Not that I'd want to customize this at all. I feel like HE switches for me, like with the foamy sound signature is fine. I do want to try different keycaps on this though. Let's do that. I'm learning a lot, Alex. This is why I come here all the time. Really? Am I teaching you some stuff? I feel like I'm just sharing my opinions, that's all. I guess we have to put this back in the top frame, huh? Yeah, I would say some design aspects of this board are neat. I like what they did with some of the stuff here. And then some of the stuff I question. Like, again, I'm pretty positive. I'm like 99% positive this is a grounding piece of tape. And I hate when keyboards do that, man. Drives me up the walls. I just feel like it's a really like lame way to ground your keyboard. It's just like tape it to the side or put one of those pads that like touches the bottom of the keyboard. Does Wooting do that too? I've never disassembled any of the Wooting boards. Why do that? Why bother? All right, let's put this thing back in here. Your streams are very educational. Thank you, Oz. Bro, I'm just going to be shooting film this weekend for the first time. Good luck, Dutch. Shooting film is scary. I haven't shot film in years. Genuinely crazy how far Hall effect boards have come. I remember when Endgame gear was stem swapping with Lecker and Raptor. Yeah, and you know, that's also something to think about too, like how far some of the Hall effect products have come, for sure. The ground is by the left of the USB port, but it's on the case. Yeah, super strange they did it that way there. Oh, you know what? I think we have to reposition this just a little bit here. The last time you gave me some random advice on installing stabilizers made me realize why mine felt so muddy. Wait, why? I want to know. For you, after all these years of gathering expertise, it seems obvious for you, but for some newer to the hobby, the opinions are super valuable. Oh man, I appreciate you saying that. Sometimes, hey man, honestly, today was one of those days. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Today I was very hard on myself. This morning, I kind of woke up, and on top of having a headache, I'm be real with you guys, I was just feeling down about stuff. And I think part of that was I kind of almost feel like I know times are tough right now and everything, and like things are just slower in general, but I had one of those days today where it was just like, man, am I just not giving people enough value to come to the streams? Like, am I not feeling, I'm kind of feeling like I'm not providing enough for people in terms of just pure, not entertainment, more so like keyboard value. So yeah, sometimes I think that way. So I started thinking, like, what can I do better? What can I do this? What can I do that? But like ultimately, it's not a whole hell of a lot. Love you guys. Appreciate you. The alphas do sound really good, though. We'll find some keycaps to play around with here. Man, this bottom piece is interesting. I kind of treat your streams like the Hi-Fi Girl videos on YouTube. Thank you, appreciate that. It's very kind of you. The UFO is a really nice switch just for sound in HE. I mean, dude, I will admit, they sound insane. So, does that justify the price point? I don't know. Some people will pay anything for really high quality switches when it comes to sound or whatever their preference may be, but some days you just need to give yourself a break and just sail along. Yeah. I feel like that was part of my worry. It's like there are some, I don't know, like there are some streams where like maybe I just don't have as much criticism to offer because there's just nothing to criticize. But yeah, we were saying that earlier. So this is, I guess, part of my other concern and maybe why people were feeling like the bottom was warped. Because this is such a thin piece of aluminum on the bottom, which again, it's not a bad thing. Like, I understand why they're doing it here. It's easy to bend. I can say with 100% confidence that I would not be anywhere remotely as interested in or as knowledgeable at keyboards in front for you and your streams. Thank you very much, Atomic. I appreciate you. No, and that's my other, I guess that's another point we can bring up too. The PCB, because of the way it is and how it has features that won't really work in other cases. So you're pretty much locked into this particular case. So if you're buying this product, this is a product locked within the GravaStar keyboard. It's not like booting where you can take it out. It's not like maybe some of the Geon, the Geon PCBs, stuff like that. So you are going to be locked in this product or anything else they produce from their own place that has, this button, which I think I maybe put on wrong. So let's fix that actually. Did I? Yeah, it was clicking before. Now it's not clicking. Well, there'll be a new mode Sonnet build soon. I don't know when. I always cringe when keyboard content creators shoot a gallon of lube into their stabs while saying you can never add too much lube to your stabs. Who's saying that? Ain't no way, dude. Did I put the diffuser back? I think I did. We'll double check. Thank you, Silver. Can you check out the 4-wrap stabs? Yes. I will be checking out those soon enough. I think thanks to Mikey, actually. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I put this in upside down. That's what I did wrong. Although this is still not clicking. Let me see. I mean, no, it looks like it's lining up nice. You also need a posture check? Oh, I got you guys. Honestly, I need to posture check. Let me see this. Beyond the fact that it's given a sense of community during a challenging time in my life, I've learned a ridiculous amount in the last 6 months. Thank you. Despite dealing with lingering cognitive issues from an injury, it's largely on you. Sorry, I'm having a tough day. Atomic, you are all good. I understand. Dude, I hope you're not having like a super tough day though. Let's see. Is this just a weird alignment issue here? Let's just draw back some of the screws. I think so, actually. Let me see something. We're just gonna take these out one more time. When's the 4 a.m. streams? 4 a.m. Pardonnez-moi. Man, I don't know if I'm built for 4 a.m. The last few days, in all honesty, I have been like so sleepy that I've been going to bed like extra early. All right, I don't understand now why this is not lining up as nice. All right, we gotta somehow make sure the alignment for this stays nice here, which it's not. Well, we'll try. We shall try. Try putting this back together here now. All of your human suffering are temporary? Yeah. Tomorrow's a new day. It's true. Honestly, that's a good way of putting things too. Is it worth getting a Swag Key screwdriver if you already have an iFixit kit? Not really. Like, save yourself the money. You probably don't need it. Realistically. You probably don't. Hold on. I'm just trying to see what's going on with why this is just not aligning as nice as I want to right now. That's the sound we should be hearing, so it should sit right here. Okay. Yeah, interesting. You got a loose screws? I cannot type today. What happened? Oh, you mean I had one that was loose somewhere? It's okay, we got it fixed. We got it all fixed now. All right, the solution is to offload your crappiest board to me. I might have some new giveaways. Actually, there might be one extra giveaway when we hit 750, and I'll tell you guys why. Bye, Mikey. Take care, man. Will do. I'll let you know. Have you tried any of the Topper HE switches? Yes, and I might be trying those new ones that everyone's also been hyping up, and honestly that I'm kind of excited for, which is those XVX switches. I'm actually very excited to try those. I think the idea of bridging some of the HE and EC stuff is super duper cool. Why do people prefer the Swag Key screwdriver kit over the iFixit? I think it's the bit lengths, and I think the Geon's kit, or the whatever kit you want, the Swag Keys one, Geon one, whatever. I'm pretty sure the Swag Keys one's the same thing, where it's telescopic, I believe. So in case you're in like a weird, hard to reach spot, kind of works nice. Oh, there's some alignment problem there. Alquan, thank you so much for the raid, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. No, I got it. We're all good. I fixed it. The XVX Topper HE are the ones in stock right now. I've never seen the Raid HEs in stock. You know what? Some people give the Raid ones shit. I actually like the Raid ones. Like, having actually tried the Raid ones, I think they're quite nice. We're all aligned. Perfect. But yeah, some people give them shit, and I feel like it's unjustified shit. It's not like they're bad. They're just different. And I don't think they're meant to be like a one-for-one EC, you know what I mean? Is it true you need case foam for the agar so it doesn't short? Man, I really don't remember if I put case foam in that. I'm pretty positive you don't need case foam, though. Pretty sure you don't. I sent you a DM. Do you want to just ask here if it's a camera question? Just so I can actually get to your question. I'm pretty sure I can help you. I missed the 700 giveaway, I think. What did someone win? It was the Siren TKL. We'll actually have a redo of a keyboard giveaway at 750 and the keycap giveaway that we're going to do. Yeah, I mean, we can do the redo now if you guys want, but okay, actually, no, I'm lying. I just want to wait I don't think we're hitting 750 tonight. I'm just trying to wait till I get an answer out of someone for one of the other redos. There might be 2 redos, actually. 2 people said, you know what, they might want to pass on things, so I'm just waiting at the moment. But I know one person basically seems like they're on the fence, which I should probably check because I emailed them this morning about it. They just not sure they want the keyboard. Like, they're just, I guess, being completely real with me, and they're like, they're probably not going to use it, so. Okay, let's swap some keycaps on this and see if GMK can make a big difference here, or just maybe another set of keycaps that I particularly, like. Actually, let's see also the thickness of these too. Let's take some of these guys off. Thank you, Akka. I appreciate the 10 gifted, man. Thank you. Let's grab this guy. You know what? Actually, why not just use the accessories they gave in the box? I do really like the alphas, though. Oh, these are actually pretty damn thick keycaps. Take a look. Honestly, they are. They are die sub. It does look like they're not double shot, so pretty damn thick though. This is an HE one, yeah. Yeah, these are very thick. I want to like the board, but the whole Venom aesthetic is just not for me. Actually, before we take everything off, hold on a sec. Let's see the RGB. I've been itching to see that in person. Let's see, let's see. So do I have to turn on the RGB manually? I probably do. Also, before we swap keycaps as well, let me just go into the software. Actually, the software I'll share with you guys right this instant too. Let me just first get into the software, make sure it loads up. So the software's interesting. I actually think this is their strongest. Oh, I do have to upgrade it actually. Let's just upgrade it really quick. I think this is their strongest part of the keyboard. If I'm being real with you guys, their webware is pretty damn good. Connect. Is it not going to update on the Mac? Let's see. No, it's their own bit. It's Hall Effect. I think most companies have their own set of Hall Effect pieces of software, to be honest with you guys. So, update was successful. Perfect. All right. So, let me share screen with you guys here. This is, like I said, probably the strongest piece of what they have offered today. Let me just bring this to the side. So their software, we'll actually just move this. No, let's put it here. Their software is interesting. They have a whole bunch of different features. So they have configuration modes, which you can set. Tons of things here. They have preset configs. You can make your own configurations and save those as profiles to swap between, your things over here, which I think I just swapped the config now. So give it a sec to load. That's the button at the back there. Then they have performance settings. Looks vibe coded because of the gradients. I mean, I think that's just part of their aesthetic. You can select all the keys. You can deselect all, pick one or two, change actuation points, which you can see on this particular profile. They already have some actuations changed here. So 1 mil versus 0.5 mil. Rapid trigger stuff, travel testing, which is interesting to see. I wonder, does that... You can see like just how sensitive these switches are, which is pretty, I'd say pretty robust. Advanced settings, you can change your dead zones, which is nice. Polling rate, which, I mean, again, you know what? It's weird. Even though this is wired, I probably would actually just bring this down to like, we'll just leave it at 8K for now. I'd probably bring this down to 4K or something like that. I don't think I personally love having 8K hertz. You can calibrate, which is cool. RGB settings. So if we really want, we can go crazy by giving this some crazy RGB. Do they have any crazy RGB? So that's the backlighting, or I guess that's the side light sync. Oh, look at that. Not that you guys can see right now, but I'll show you guys. Actually, it might even be not bright enough. I'd say the RGB gives the keyboard a different aesthetic, though. It kind of brings it to life a little bit. It kind of does. All right, let's go back to the settings here. Custom keys, pretty standard fare. Advanced key configurations. So this is all like the crazy stuff when it comes to what you'd expect. I would say this has just enough of pretty much everything you need. I don't think there's anything crazy that you need past this. It has SOCD, DKS, MT, MPT, TGL, which I've never even really used. And then they have other things as well. They have macro management, and then this is the one thing I was actually kind of shocked about, because I haven't seen, and again, it's not like I've tested every HE board in the world, but I haven't seen this in any software quite yet that I've tested, at least thoroughly, which is controller mapping. This is where I think they score a whole bunch of points from me. This is cool. I don't realistically know when I'd use this, but it is nice to know that, like, if you did have a game that just natively only plays on controller for whatever reason, you can at least map some of the stuff to controller keys, which, again, I thought was, like, it's a nice feature to have if you want a gaming keyboard. And I feel like this is their strongest piece of this board, is they have good software. Does Razer have it? I haven't tested any of the Razer stuff in a while, so. It's a wooting feature. I haven't booted up my wooting board in a long time. I'm still, like, you know, I'm not here to shit on wooting right now, but I still don't really love my wooting board. The PCB seems fine with it, but pretty nice, pretty nice. All right, now to swap keycaps. Utility has the same. I need to get back on my wooting board. I actually have the new wooting board with me. I just need to, you know, do something with it. IMO wooting is really underwhelming. I hear mixed. I don't know. I hear people say back and forth with wooting stuff, but I don't know where I'm sitting at. Now, I think I know what keycap set we're using today, but let me see. Like, I'm pretty sure we're using Mecha Kaiju, right? I'm like 99% positive, right? Every GravaStar I've heard is dull and muted. I don't mind the sound of this. I think the spacebar is kind of dead, though. I think because it's top mount and because this is a mounting point right underneath the spacebar, that's probably why we're feeling that way. You need to update your wooting and play for a while. Yeah, that's going to be my tonight's task, maybe. Tonight, guys, I am going to... Actually, the keyboard does look cool with no keycaps on it. Tonight is going to be one of those nights where I just spend the evening just trying to chill. Yesterday, I know I said I was going to do that, but I ended up not doing that. I did not remove the screw under the spacebar, no. I'm leaving it as stock as possible because I want to see what the sound is with GMK first. The stab tuning seems completely okay. These are going to be plate-mounted stabilizers, which, as you guys know, I have zero problem with plate-mounted stabs. Zero problem with them. I think they're fantastic. You can get great results with plate-mounted stabs. Do I prefer PCB ones? Sure. Is there a reason why a lot of pre-builds have plate-mounted stabs? Easier to service the keyboard. You don't have to tear it apart. So you can take these apart by just literally taking out the switch and then taking out the stab, and you don't have to tear this whole thing down. That is why most keyboards have them. You know, maybe the typeface on this keycaps are kind of too sharp. Where I feel like the keyboard's rounded and the typeface is very sharp. Although the finish on these keycaps is rather impressive. Good on GravaStar here. I think this would be a cool set if it didn't have like the clutch. Might be easier to assemble too. To some degree, maybe. What Leica camera do you own, Alex? I have an M11P with a few different lenses. But I'm pretty positive I am probably not going to pick up any more Leica stuff in the near future. With the price of Leica stuff and, you know, I have a 35, a 28, and a 50. And then I also have a Voigtlander 75. What else do I need? There's some like other random crazy lenses or some, you know, historical lenses, or not historical, but like, you know, stuff that invokes some nostalgia maybe. Different character and different lenses, but I have everything that I want with it when it comes down to like focal lengths. You know what else I think some of these boards would really benefit from as well? Hear me out, and this is something you'd really have to experiment with. Different spacebar areas when it comes to the aluminum plate. Like perhaps they could use some like larger relief cuts in between, maybe to kind of make it a bit more airy sounding, or just really make it pop. Instead of just having like really solid pieces of aluminum with like, you know, foam poking out and stuff like that. It's worth updating to the beta version of software. You can do it in the browser via Utility. Okay, I will do that, Lander. Sounds good to me. Actually, I'll put these keycaps in this like bag thing over here that came with. Hydrate? I appreciate it. Rolleiflex? I don't know if I'd ever get one. I heard rain outside, but it's just you? Oh no, yeah, just me with the keycaps. You know, again, I do like the way these switches sound. I will give the UFO switches that. And I know I've said this a few times now, but they do sound really nice. Yeah, these white areas are steps. Oh, is this going to be the perfect match for this or what? Let's see. What do you guys think? Oops. Hello? Stream Deck? Why are you so sensitive today? Where's the escape key? Probably on the other layer. This is Mecha Kaiju. It has like, so GMK does these swirls in some of their ABS stuff, which I can show you guys. Actually, I'll show you guys later. They use like these metallic swirls in some of their caps, which is pretty neat. Yeah, the orange cable would be sick. Reminds me of the Dyson vacuum. Oh my god, it does. Bro, why'd you have to say that, AMD? Dyson products, man. Let me tell you. Maybe it just happened to be like when my age group or whatever was like getting to hit adult level of stuff. I always thought Dyson was like the be all and end all of like vacuum cleaners and shit like that. Bro, they're honestly terrible. Like, I have one because I bought into, you know, like the idea that they are the high-end product. I hate my Dyson vacuum. Hate it. BS? Yeah. Like, everything that they make at Dyson just feels cheap. I love it. Dude, I've had nothing but terrible experience. Like, I've had to send my, I don't even know what to call it, like the canister area to Dyson because it broke. Like, it literally just fell apart. And my replacement piece, which I only got like 2 years ago, is literally doing the same thing right now. It's falling apart. And we don't vacuum, and it might sound gross, but it's not gross, I promise. We don't vacuum as often enough for it to fall apart within like 2 or 3 years of getting a replacement piece. I think that's kind of what like has me peeved a little bit, you know? Well, there's tons of, I've learned, it's weird. You learn now that there's tons of other crazy good vacuums. A shop vac? Yeah, I probably should just get a shop vac. Dysons are not cheap. I still think they're pretty damn expensive. I grew up cleaning houses. I promise you an older Auric or Miele is the best for value. You know what's funny about that? And I hate admitting this. Oh yeah, this uses the short shift. I don't even know if I have... so this is the other, maybe another problem with this board, by the way. 64 key and layouts usually have this issue. You're going to need a 2U shift, which you may or may not have, actually. They're not super common when it comes to standard sets. So keep that in mind. You may not have this. I might not have this in this set too. As much as I do like the 64 key layout, I think it's a fantastic layout. It does require some special stuff. Yeah, but my girlfriend wanted to get Melee. I always thought like, the Melee brand, like it's gonna be whatever, but no, apparently it's really good, and I regret not kind of getting into it, I guess. This is why I hate the 64 key layout. Again, I don't mind it. I don't think it's like terrible at all. Let's do function. That's 1.75U. Where's my function key? You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna move super there. I love tap dance feature. Oh, it is nice if you can if you remember what you have. Honestly, I never remember what I'd use for tap dance. Did Bull leak more stuff yesterday? I don't know. Did he? I wasn't really online yesterday. I had to basically move my stream just because of some stuff that popped up. But yeah, it's kind of a long day. It's right there. I see it. Thank you. All right, let's get our control and stuff as well. Do you see I DM'd you earlier? Yeah, you just sent me a link without any context. What was it you were trying to show me? It's like Wordle, but you can guess the chatter. Oh, that's not it. Damn it, I thought that was one there. I guess we're going to just have to use the 0 key or something like that. It's fine. We'll just put that there for now. And then I need a caps lock. Should I play it now? Now I need to find where the escape key is. Yo, low key, I love this set, but the legends are a little tough to read sometimes. Oh boy. Wonder if I should have it on another board. I probably do. You know what? Let's go find an artisan for today. Let's do that. I think I use it as an escape somewhere, or like an accent escape. Metal Artisan or Riot? Let's see what we got. Okay, to be fair though, I think this keyboard looks now 1,000 times better with something not shiny that matches the shiny case. I really think this kind of like makes the keyboard pop a bit more. Spent today and swapped the KTT King White out of my seal kit and put in Gator on Palm Smoothies. I can't stop myself from finding reasons to type more. It's nice when you just want to hear the keyboard, right? When you just like love the keyboard you built so much that you just don't want to stop. Oops, I dropped. Oh. Sorry guys, my bad. I dropped something. Let's see. I have... that's not going to look very good. Let's see. I have an orange metal cap we can maybe use. What did I drop? This. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this. I have an extra IKEA Scatus pegboard that I don't know what I'm doing with. Originally, I was going to put it over here, like beside me over this way, but I don't know if it'll look very good. So I've just been like loafing on doing anything with this. So I just kind of lean it up against my shelving. I love the pegboards as well, but yes, this is MKB HD Artisan. But I think what I'll use today is, I mean, maybe this archetype Artisan here. Do the pyramid. This thing's so big, man. We'll just use this tray today. I don't feel like going to get the other trays. I could use this patinaed cap. Maybe not the right color, though. I think the archetype cap might look good, though. Yeah. Let's do the archetype cap. The other pyramid? This one? No, I don't. These are too big. The pyramid caps are like when I'm not taking stuff super serious. And today I'm taking serious. All right. Let's plug this in now. Actually, I do want to change the RGB to orange to match this board now, though. Let's see. Let's just do... Okay, so how do I do... Custom? This is just doing 3. Can I just do like...
Whoa, this board is crazy.
How you doing, Flying? I guess I do have to do custom and then what, just do side flowing lights. Sorry guys, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this backlighting stuff here. You know what? Not quite understanding how to do this. Let's just turn these off. Okay, so now I can customize. Okay, I see how to do it. All right. So what do I want to do? Like orange? Something like that? I mean... I'll give it to GravaStar here. With the LEDs on, this does make the keyboard look pretty nice. Darker? If I make it darker, it's just going to become like... Maybe like right there. I mean, it's probably because my studio lights, but... Again, I'll give it to GravaStar. It does look cool with the LEDs fully on. They made a really interesting aesthetic utilizing the LEDs. They did. It does give like a lava lamp vibe. Can you turn it off? I will. You know, I gotta see how this looks turned off too. Let's see. Oh boy. Okay, you know what? I vibe with it. I do vibe with this Bion if he locked in. That's crazy. I vibe with it. It does give a really cool aesthetic. Okay, let me turn the light back on. I wasn't here. How's GMK? I haven't even typed on it yet. Let's see how it sounds with GMK keycaps now. Might not sound different at all. Might sound totally different. Might sound worse. I am not sure. But let's type on this. Interesting. Okay. Let's try last ditch effort unscrewing the spacebar. I don't know if it's going to do anything though. Because again, this is a top mount. And for whatever reason, they decided to put top mount screws or mounting points underneath the spacebar. So let's see. Let's see if it makes a little bit of a difference if we do that. Yeah, the alphas sound really nice. Where's my music? Can I try some of these switches on the Kafka? the Kafka has RAID HE switches in it right now, and I don't know if you've taken out RAID HE switches before, but I don't feel like destroying my fingers tonight. They were already crazy difficult to insert into the keyboard, and yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know if I decide I want to do that tonight. A man can dream. Yeah, I apologize. I apologize. Wholeheartedly, I do. I'm sorry, Drew. Unsubbing? My bad, my bad. Let's go on here. Get out of here. Stupid packaging. Those red keycaps are gorgeous. Thank you very much. It is Crimson Cadet. I guess we can probably already tell if this is going to sound better or not just by unscrewing this right here. Let's see. Does this make it sound any... Let's put these back on now. I don't know. We'll see when this thing gets closed up. Does the silicone have to stay in? I don't believe we need it, but we'll leave it for now. And it's only a few screws. If we decide we want to take it out, we can. And no, I would say I'm going to give GravaStar credit here. There are some aspects of this board where I do feel like it's not modder friendly, but also like it's not that difficult to work around. It really isn't. Barcode on the back looks weird. Yeah, the typeface of the Mercury V60 Pro also looks weird. I mean, there's definitely some design decisions when it came to like where they're placing all these things, but I also like don't mind it here on the bottom. I kind of half expect it with some of these like more worldwide consumer boards that have like net needs for all these things here on it. It's not more of a bespoke product. All right, let's see now. All right, let's see. Let's see now. I would say this sounds almost identical. Yeah, I would say no noticeable difference that I can perceive. I do like it with the GMK more than I'd liked it with the stock keycaps. I wonder too if maybe what this sounds like without the silicone. I almost wonder too if there's just too much pressure maybe being put on. Let me see. Always interesting to see these types of case designs. Why does it sound better without the bottom? I don't know. Honestly, for something this thin, I have no clue. Yeah, it's because, so if we're, you know, if we're looking really at the overall design and why it seems so like dull in the spacebar area, it's because this is a top mount keyboard and they decided to put a screw point, so a mounting area right underneath the spacebar, like smack dab in the center. Which, if you know from like a sound perspective, even feeling perspective, is usually a no-no. I wonder. HE Bauer to test? Yeah, I've used one for a little while. pinging. I mean, I don't think it's pinging. I just think there's a little bit of resonance, or I guess some sort of oddity happening here with the spacebar. I'm wondering if it's actually these points mating too closely to these. No, I have a different idea I'm going to attempt to do here. Just a very, very small idea. I actually like it personally. I like it more with the silicone on the bottom. Okay, I need to go. You know, let's use these flush cutters. Fuck it, I'm lazy today. Any news on the Manta 60? I mean, it's a thing, technically, but also not quite called the Manta 60, nor will it share the same identity as the Manta. So it's like kind of a thing, sorta. Sorta, not really. It's called the Schema M60. Or you can just call it the Schema, whatever you guys want to call it. Any news on the alexotos X Canadian maple syrup collab? I wasn't aware there wasn't anything like that. I am super excited. I'm not too sure. YM mechanical keyword 60. I don't want to, I guess, like, to tell you guys, I mean, fucking, I guess I have to. Essentially, we like that simplistic design a lot. We love the Manta design a lot too, right? However, the simple design with the little ribbed back piece that you guys saw in that little teaser I showed you also makes for cool other products. So the idea is Bull and I were perhaps, and this is not a promise, we were potentially thinking if it would be fun to do other stuff with the same namesake and same design. That's it. Doesn't that back piece get a lot of dust? Oh. Guess we'll see. I'm not sure, my friend. Manta 60 to 75? No, if we're gonna... Man, I don't know. Honestly, like... First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who even got a Manta. We've been slowly getting some like small reviews in from people who received their Mantas, and can I say it has been nothing but like a nice experience. Bull and I were, I wouldn't say worried, but you know, we're obviously feeling feelings. So we've gotten some really nice feedback so far. A little tense, I would say a little tense. Yeah, we've seen a few even public reviews that people have posted, or just public thoughts, like on Z Frontier, which, you know, I honestly thought people from Z Frontier were going to rip us a new one for something they didn't like about the board, and everything's been, like, pretty positive so far. If not, like, I would say wonderfully positive, so it has been very warm feelings. Do you know when the Manta is getting to SG? I have no clue what's going on with all the worldwide shipments. I'm pretty sure everything's like on the way. I just don't know time frames. You would have to talk to like local vendors and stuff for that. But I know most of them are shipped out. Everything but the tangerine units are probably shipped out. Ooh, stomach is growling right now. I remember Z Frontier shat on the Manta when it was announced. Yeah, it's because it was by me and Bowl, and particularly me. What did they say? They don't like me much on Z Frontier. I don't know why. I didn't do anything. They just don't like me. They call me sound card warrior for years. I don't know why. It's okay. Okay, that actually... Do you guys feel like that helped? Oh, I do feel like it slightly balanced the spacebar a bit more. Now, is there any visible notice? No, there's no gaps or anything. All right. It's starting to sound like a basic MX board, which, you know, honestly, I'm not even opposed to that. Well, okay. I mean, I like the way this sounds right now. I think it's in a good spot sound-wise. So does it just forget the LEDs every time I unplug it? Or do I have to go back in and set it? What's going on here? Or do I need to change the... No, it's still set on that one there. Let's go back to the default configuration. I think they hate you because their head is so far... No, I don't think it's anyone having their head far up their ass. I just think it's a difference in like what we perceive as like value. And I honestly just think it's like... And I appreciate you saying what you said, Whit. Don't even get me wrong. Love you for that. I just think it's just a difference of things. But it is nice to see the people who did pick up the Manta are really enjoying it so far, at least. And I did see a lot of people shitting on the Manta for price, but like, dude, I'm telling you guys, I wish we were allowed to share exactly what everything costs, but there's no room. There's not a lot of room on the Manta. We can talk about that here in a second, though. Let me just turn the RGB back on here. Let's go back to rainbow mode. So what's going on? Is the RGB just like not turning on now? RGB settings. I don't know. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Do I have to change the configuration back to this one? One sec. The software is not even like showing the RGB at the moment. I don't know what's going on. You broke a review in it? I don't know what's happening. Rip keyboard? I mean, the keyboard types and everything, it's fine. But the software is not showing the RGB doing anything. L software? I mean, maybe this is a good thing to happen while we're on stream. Oh, there it goes. I don't know why that took so long to do. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure why that took so long to like boot up, basically. But it definitely needs to like boot up, basically. I have no clue. So we can change the brightness even further. You can push it even further here. All right, let's give it one more sound test now. Just one more with just everything going on here. I can't complain about the sound profile. The sound does sound nice. They did a good job here. So kudos to them. I think it does sound like the switches sound good. Even in its stock configuration, I would say maybe other than the spacebar, which fell a little bit short, it does sound good. So I guess now to break down some further thoughts of the keyboard itself. Can you show it the lights off? Yeah. Here, we'll turn the lights off. I think I have it on red RGB right now, but the aesthetic is fun. You know, I know there's going to be a lot of people who maybe disagree, and I'm going to be open-minded here because normally this is not my typical aesthetic, but I vibe with it. I think it looks like a Holy 60, but a more elevated Holy 60 in a lot of ways. Maybe the way the Holy 60 should have looked like in a lot of ways too. I think it's fun. A lot of fun. Some positives. The case is technically metal. It's a nice looking case. Actually, let's go back to the top down screen here. It is a nice case overall. I would say the internals of the keyboard are maybe its weakest point. The internals being a top mount, which could be fun. However, I'm not going to like blame GravaStar for this, but it is technically something I hope they maybe redo in the future. There is a mounting point right over here, coming from a lot of testing of different top mount boards. It's usually a no-no. It's considered something you wouldn't do, but you typically want to move those mounting points off to the side. I'm not sure how much that truly matters in a Hall effect board to just have one smack dab in the middle. But, you know, it's there. It makes the spacebar a little bit more stiff, a bit more fatiguing, even with it unscrewed at the moment. Do you need to put on that top mount? Probably not for that one particular mounting point, but it's there. There's also I'm guessing, some sort of shorting tape over there, or just some sort of grounding tape. Not my favorite thing in the world to see on a keyboard like this. The Phillips head screws are also lackluster. I don't see why you wouldn't just, you know, they already have hex screws here on the back. Let's see hex screws everywhere in this keyboard. I know maybe the intention isn't for people to open this up every single day, but it would be nice to have a bit more of a consistent screw design there. Past that, I guess internally the only other thing I would have liked to see is non-adhesive foams. Because if you do want to experiment, you know, by taking one piece off and just changing some stuff, like, you are going to ruin your product, I guess. You're going to ruin the thing you purchased. What I really do like is the RGB. I think they nailed the RGB look on this. Like, truly, I do think they did. This is a good-looking board with no RGB, and I think an even better-looking board, which is usually not the case for me, with RGB on. So good on GravaStar there. It is a left-aligned USB, which I personally really like, and I really do like the quick swap, I guess, customization profiles. I think that's genius, to be honest. I think this is a great little feature. The software seemed very robust for GravaStar, which kudos. It's very nice to see. The switches, I think, are maybe one of the big highlights of this board. I know people really, really, really wanted me to take a look at these. I'm happy now that I get to see them. I think they sound fantastic. In fact, these might be one of the more pleasant sounding HE switches I've tried. And I've only tried them in the one board so far. However, I can't really ignore that the shape might not be conducive to a wobble-free experience if you're really into, you know, the finer details of Hall effect stuff. Definitely an odd shape, but other than that, the price point of these switches on their own are pretty crazy. So keep that in mind too. But overall, I mean, I don't think this is a bad product. I think it's a good board. For $200, you get 2 sets of keycaps, which I thought was nice. Not the ones we have on right now, but 2 sets of keycaps, which was interesting. If this did catch your attention aesthetic-wise and you really wanted something like this, then I would say, like, for $200, you get a lot in the box. I wouldn't say this is a bad pickup. I would like GravaStar to, like, for maybe another future iteration, really tune in and hone in on these finer details. Another thing, too, that we just tested towards the end, which I almost forgot to mention just now, is it does seem the way that this backplate is connecting to this frame over here, it's causing a little bit of resonance. This is a thinner metal. As you guys saw how thin this backplate was. So there might be some room for this to maybe resonate even from, I guess maybe vibrations travel even more with the thinner piece of metal. So just by simply force breaking, in quotations, all the screw mounts, it did provide a little bit of a sound difference here, which I don't know, maybe not even a little bit. I thought it was pretty noticeable. Yeah, and I don't know why GravaStar is not selling a bare bones unit of this. Because realistically, like, let me keep it a buck. This is not a CNC board. This shouldn't cost that much. GravaStar, if you make a bare bones unit for this and it was under $100, I think people would pick it up so they can put their own stuff inside. I think kind of being forced to pick up those really expensive UFO switches is your main cost here. But I would love to see a bare bones unit of this. That'd be really cool. Yeah, bare bones and touched up. I think that would be a sick product. Because again, I like the aesthetic. I do. GravaStar is only if you like the exact shape, even if you like their custom keyboards. I mean, it is a specific aesthetic. You're going to have to really want something a bit more futuristic, which people do like that stuff, and I think it's a fun look. Machining on the Holy 60 looks way better to me. I would say, yep, I think you're correct on that. The finishing on the Holy 60 does look better, but I think the shape of this, to me, like this is a nicer looking shape of the board. The switches might be their moneymaker then? Maybe. The Holy 60 is kind of an open case. I think this, if this was like, dude, you know what would be interesting? If they just made this a drop-in O-ring case with this aesthetic, would be super neat. I don't know how they'd do that though, but it'd be super cool. It is a better shape. Yeah, I think maybe what makes a good shape and what makes a bad shape, like the aesthetic of the keyboard, is always going to be up to the interpretation of the person buying it. Keep that in mind, guys. But cool. I'm not going to say this is not a good attempt at something. I think this is, out of all the Hall Effect boards I've recently looked at, with the exception of the Kafka, I had a lot of fun with this one here. The only other one that I will say I had a lot of fun with too is the Angry Meow keyboard that I tried, which was the Retro 60. So I think I posted a photo of it today. That was another fun one, but that was also like $500. So I did have a lot of fun with this. I do think if you did pick this up, you'd probably really enjoy the experience. The unboxing experience was very pleasant as well. Overall, the keyboard seems like it's nice. Why does none of these boards do 7U? That's because I think the average person buying this isn't going to go and buy a 7U keycap set. So, I mean, I understand why this is the way it is. Maybe that's one of the drawbacks we mentioned too, is finding a 2U, I guess, shift key. Yeah, like, I'm going to say this too. I do still think the best experience I've had so far with Hall Effect custom stuff probably was the Kafka. And I'm probably going to go out on a limb and say the Overture is probably going to be another good experience that I probably will have, because we will be looking at that soon too. Where does this fall? And maybe that can be like a final discussion point. Like, where does this fall out of the stuff I've used? You know, I've used a bunch. I'm not going to list everything, so that'd be kind of a boring list, but I would say like maybe like upper middle. It isn't a bad board in the slightest. I know I'm probably giving it its paces here, but upper middle, I would say, like, not quite super high. But what's the best? The best one I've tried so far is the Kafka. I fucking love that board. Sorry my language, but love the Kafka. I think that was a wonderful experience. The Garand 60 is definitely up there as well. I mean, the Vela was up there. There's a lot of custom boards that make some of the best, you know, I would say, like, experiences to build in. But out of the box is another story, right? Like, out of the box experience, this is definitely up there. Not perfect, but up there. The Garand 60 was great, though. Let's be real here. Protagonist HE? I don't know. We'd have to see how that... I mean, the Protagonist is a cool board, but... 7U Venom PCB is a good base to build with? Yes. I'm still going to... You know, like, while this PCB is really cool and all, and I like the features and its software, you know, it still might be in someone's best interest to pick up a more diversified PCB where you can kind of just take your assembly and then move it to another case. This is going to be for someone who wants a keyboard that is pre-built where they can still swap out switches, but really nothing else. Maybe some foams and different things you can do to the inside of this, but that's it. So, but all right, pretty much the stream. Has QK reached out to you yet about the Sonic? No, I probably do have to reach out to them about that. Do you think, what do you think of the bottom? Sorry. What do you think about switches that go metal, stem, pole, and metal at the bottom? What do you mean by that, Bray? I'm not even sure. Can we just hang out? We can. Honestly, I'm just chilling right now. Like I said, my night was probably just going to be like sitting on the couch. But yeah, to kind of finish up our conversation from earlier as well, I was a little nervous about the Manta. And I know some of the criticism we saw on Z Frontier was pricing, but like I said, there's not much we can really do about pricing. This wasn't like a pricing after importing. The price was already insanely high. To show you guys again, in case people are maybe wondering why the price of the Manta was so high, it's this piece. This piece on the Manta, all the like, see this? How it bows from one in and then back down? That piece alone has to be this thick. And then you have to CNC everything away from this. And then on top of that, this piece right over here is not super easy to do either. So it was not challenging, but it's a lot of time on the machine and a lot of material. And that's why this was so expensive. Even in aluminum, this was also very expensive. Again, it's more the time on the machine, so. People who complained about the price of the Manta have no clue how much machining costs. To some degree. Like, I'm not going to say that, like, oh, you should be more educated, but we tried our best to, like, really show people, like, this is not simple to make. But I think it kind of, like, it fell on deaf ears, I guess. We're so excited, though. We can't wait for people to get this, man. I heard a few people who got it reached out to me and said this is becoming one of their grail boards, where this is like a board they're keeping forever, and I was literally over the moon. Like, I told Bull, and Bull, he's like, let's go, because he's so happy, but it turned out great. It's such a unique, like, I'll even say this, like, it does feel like such a unique keyboard. Some people called me okay, so the story behind that's an old story. I think that's not even Z Frontier. That's just literally what people would make fun of me for when I joined the keyboard hobby. So when I used to do keyboard content, I don't know, everyone thought this was a weird time because people also thought Teja did the same thing, but it was more me. People thought I edited the sound of my keyboards, but like, I have no reason to do that, because at the beginning of the keyboard hobby, I was just doing my own keyboards. Like, I didn't build prototypes or anything. I wasn't selling anyone on products. It was my own things, and I was just happy that I built them. And I think there was like 5 switches available, so I used a lot of the same switches. But they used to call me like part of the nickname was like I edited my sound, and then I think that like translated somehow into like Sound Card Warrior, where everything sounded the same because I edited everything. I guess that's kind of where it. I don't know. Even my early sound test, people were asking what I did to the sound. Yeah, but I mean, like, you guys can hear everything pretty naturally with this microphone. Even that, to this day, people still think I edit things. I'm like, I don't have time to edit this. Yeah, and even editing the sound, like, you'd really notice. Like, you would truly, really notice an edited sound profile. Probably Instagram people who think everything sounds like how this board sounded. Well, I don't know. I did a funny one the other day where I took a video. I was so bored. Like, not bored. Okay, to explain what I was feeling, I was just a little annoyed with stuff. So I was like, I'm going to make a really, like, short YouTube short, or I guess Instagram reel. And if you notice in the reel, I whispered, like, tuning your space bars. But if you notice, I did this with my fingernail. And people, of course, are like, because it's just because I was trying to be funny, like, be stupid. People are like, oh, you're ticking stabs. I'm like, no, bro, that's my fingernail. It's ticking. It's my fingernail. If you look in the video, I'm literally tapping with my fingernail. I did it on purpose. Yeah. It's a sign you gotta cut your nails? Nah. I low-key thought I was ticking. No, it's just my fingernail. But I've just been telling people, oh, I hope not. Because I don't care. It's just funny to see people get so upset about it. Okay, doing MK Ultra reviewers? No, I mean, dude, To be honest, when I recorded it, I didn't realize I did it with my fingernail. And when I loaded it up in the editing software, I was like, fuck it. I don't even give a shit. Let's just see what happens. And yeah, people were upsetty spaghetti. Have you only done spacebar on that? Or have you done full type on that? This one? I've done everything on this board. As you guys can see, if I want to replicate that sound, it's... fingernail. Let's see what's this. Damn, you know what? I didn't even realize how much damage the fingernails could cause to the keycaps. Holy shit. That's a lot of damage. Damn. Yeah, we'll be doing the logos. Damn, I mean, like, again, I don't really have a lot of long fingernails, and I kind of don't type on my fingernails naturally, but damn, that's a lot of damage. Wow. When did the flip the spacebar become so expensive? It's always been the same price. I hate doing it, so I always made it expensive. Have I shown the bottom? Yeah, but this is not indicative of anything final. This is just some terrible texture that we got for the fast prototype of this unit. I mean, I'll be honest, the aluminum is starting to weather a little bit. I don't know if you guys can tell. It kind of looks sick, but it also makes it feel like extremely cheap. But again, this is technically a cheap prototype. It kind of looks tarnished now, no? It's starting to see a little bit of wear and tear. Matthew, thank you very much for the prize.
Hi Alex, hope
Appreciate
you're having a great day. Loving the
Thank
trend
you,
of
thank
more
you.
full-size boards coming out nowadays.
We've been seeing so many. I love it too. I love it. Do you see my W key damage? Oh yeah, I saw it in Discord. It wasn't that bad though. How is frigging up the gear hunt going? I haven't had time. Okay, Weesh. I made the boo-boo of sanding it on my desk, and I didn't realize, stupid me, that there'd be a lot of like ano, I guess, or whatever, falling everywhere. So I'm gonna wait until summer so I can just do it outside, and then not have to worry about it. But yeah, I didn't realize how messy it would be. But my project is to make that board as scratched up as possible, because I think it would suit the aesthetic of that board. You're a goofball for that one? Yeah, I ruined a desk pad. Alex, would you do aluminum or PC for a 1.2 mil PCB? Nikki, what keyboard is it? I'll show you. Maybe tonight I'll shave. My beard's patchy today too. I don't know. It didn't grow in super nice. I'm gonna shave, and I'm probably gonna cut my hair soon too. I think both are in need of some TLC. I don't know. Shave your head? No, thank you. I think I just want to trim it so it's like nice and short. It's too long right now. How many points to shave your head? No, thank you. It's a Cinque? Oh, aluminum for sure. Actually, PC. The Cinque sounds good plateless. So I would say PC. Get a mullet? I've always wanted one, but I don't want to let my hair grow anymore. I hate when my hair gets too long because then it gets greasy. Tip on how to cut the back of your head. I don't know. When we get, I rarely ever go to the barber. We just do it here, and my girlfriend does it. So you would have to ask, if Pretty Calamity's ever in the chat, you would have to ask her. We've been trying to save a few bucks, because cutting my hair, I mean, even I think she does her hair too. The rare time we both go get our hair cut, for me, I think for hers it's different. For me, it's $50. And that's like on the cheap end. There are some cheaper barbers I've gone to in the past, but it always ends up terrible. No, her is easy to do because she can do that thing where, you know, like, she has longer hair so she can, like, flip it over and stuff. Mine, I need to shave it, so I can't really see the back of my head. I think it might be a little easier. If I had longer hair, it might be a little easier. Dude, $50. That's why we just haven't been going. It's not like I don't want to support the barbers. Like, I have a barber I sometimes go to when I want, like, a proper cut, but, like, it's expensive, man. I think you're too critical of yourself some days. Your beard is totally fine. Your hair looks nice. Your choice of eyewear is... Thank you. I appreciate you, Weesh. You're a kind person. If I could, I would give you a full wraparound hug. God damn, man. I'd give you one back, bro. Thanks, Weesh. Appreciate you, man. Love you, buddy. 50 is crazy, with or without tip. That's with tip. With tip. Like 50 all in. It's I don't know. It's expensive. You can probably find someone on Craigslist that will cut it for cheaper. I mean, I don't know if I want that. Adam, can you cut hair? I feel you on that then? Yeah, it's just expensive. Like, I would technically have to go like every 2 months. And that's like $50 every 2 months. Yeah. Oh, by the way, PSA. Random thought. I saw that Crunchyroll got hacked, for lack of a better word. If you guys have credit cards on Crunchyroll and stuff like that, I'd suggest going to go change all those things. I went to go do mine, and I realized I had my Apple account attached to it, but like I still changed everything. So yeah, just go look up that if you guys haven't already, just as a PSA. A bit concerning. They even got like usernames and passwords and location IDs and stuff like that too. So. Little bit concerning. But all right, though, guys. I think that's pretty much it for me today. I changed it on the day they announced it. Yeah, I did the same thing. I saw it and I was like, oh, because I don't really have a lot of subscriptions anymore. I have Netflix and Crunchyroll. That's really it. And whatever Apple thing I have. Let's go find someone to raid. My headache's slowly coming back. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh. You know what? Mikey always shows up to my streams. I never see him. Shark's online too? Oh my god, Avo's online? No, he's not. Sterling's online? Manu's online? Let's raid Mikey. Oh, my keyword's not plugged in. Let's go raid Mikey. There's lots of people online tonight. Hobby is dead? Yeah, lots of choices. Jabronis, get online. Yeah, a lot of choices tonight. Jeez, there's a lot of streamers tonight, huh? Alright, though, guys. You have a good one. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, we are doing another keyboard. I think we're doing... What are we doing, actually? Let's see. We are doing the Paper 65. Actually, I'm really excited for that one there. The Paper 80 was sick. The Paper 65 looks pretty cool, too. Really excited for that. Prep some switches for you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Good night, everybody. Love ya.